part 6 of our ACL injury prevention webinar. We're going to continue our journey, and we're going to go through an example assessment, and we're going to break down what we would go through and how we would test. And everybody's a little bit different, and depending on what we see in flexibility and stability, etc. It depends kind of on what exercises we might utilize next. So everything's a little bit different, but we're going to choose one here, and it's going to be Nicole. And she is a college tennis player. She came in with the goal of becoming a more explosive and faster athlete on the course. So better coordination, agility, and better speed on the tennis court. That's what she was looking to improve upon. We started off with flexibility, and I did find imbalances in her left ankle joint and left mid-tarsal joint. Okay? All we have to do is keep that in mind as we enter into her stability work, which is where this assessment is going to pick up here on the video screen. So I'm going to go ahead and hit play. And I'm going to be taking her through forward and back movements, side to side movements, because her knee moves side to side, and forward and back, and transverse movements. And you can see there's a little bit of liveliness with her right, but overall she does a really nice job with the move. When we get to her left, you can kind of watch her knee. You can focus right in on it. You start to see that there's a little bit more liveliness and a little bit more shakiness. It's actually taking her more energy to get that task accomplished. And you see her kind of fall out, and she had to touch down on transverse there. And because it took a little bit more energy, she's less efficient in her move, and therefore isn't taking advantage of the true potential she has as an athlete. We also kind of see that left knee is actually a little bit more vulnerable. It'll take more energy to complete a move. It's not as efficient, and therefore it's not as effective at doing playing its role that it needs to play. When we speak of knee, ACL is obviously included in that. In this next video, you'll see me take her through a lot of overhead and sideways and twisting positions with her hands. This is simply because in her tennis game, she's constantly swinging the racket, sometimes higher, sometimes lower, sometimes off to one side more, off to another side, and obviously massively transverse positions. You can see she has a little bit of trouble on her right side. These are tough moves. When you go over her head, her knee has a little bit less help from the muscles in her butt, and you saw her kind of falter on that a little bit. But again, overall, nice job. Is there room for improvement on that side? Yeah, absolutely. But let's go ahead and let's see how she does on the left here. And I have her going at a decent speed because she's absolutely not moving slow. And you see right on the court, but you see right off the bat, she definitely has some wobbliness going on. We go to that overhead position, which we know, again, is a little bit more challenging to the knee. And again, it's just less efficient in her work, in the work that she's doing. She takes it through side to side, again, a little bit off balance, and we'll keep watching her as she's going. Falls out there a little bit, and definitely this is looking different than what her right side was. And you see her almost completely fall out, and you see her kind of laughing there because she knows she just lost it on that exercise. But so again, we kind of step back and say, okay, right, yeah, there's a little bit of room for improvement. Left, she's more vulnerable. Is her ACL at a higher risk? Yeah, absolutely. And when she's cutting or pivoting off on the court, she's not getting as explosive as she could on that left side. Subconsciously, her body's going to slow her down because it knows, hey, I don't have actually the ability to go as fast as I can on this one. This one I got to take a little bit slower because I don't have the control to decelerate and then accelerate with the task that you're asking me to do. In the next position, I have her hopping, and again, in all three planes of motion. I want to see her knee move side to side. I want to see her foot and ankle move side to side, her hip move side to side, and I want to see it twist, and I want to see it move forward and back. The right, she's doing all right. We're looking for a lot of fluidity, and just how well she effectively and efficiently attacks the move. Again, nice job, room for improvement probably, yep. But let's take a look at the left. And on the left, you can see right off the bat, just less efficient. Takes longer to load and explode. Really shaky, really wobbly. Side to side, you can see she's inconsistent. Had to touch down again. Really just lacking control, and it just looks like it's just hard. There's not a lot of finesse with it. You look at the best athletes, in their game. It's all about finesse. And then again, she's off-centered. She's starting to work her way all around that star on the ground. We'd like to see her stay, pretty consistent in where she's moving and where she's stepping, but she's kind of all over the grid. She lacks control in those positions. And that's not just her knee, though. You can see that obviously these are big total body moves where her foot's a part of this, her hip's a part of this, her core is a part of this, and I get to see how well that system does fully operating in all three planes of motion with similar momentums and similar actions that are going to take place in tennis. This next one is called a 36 to 360 jump, and this one is a really big total body move, and I know that she wants to increase her coordination and agility on the court, and to do that, I know that she's constantly moving side to side, forward and back, twisting, especially as she's swinging that racket, but she might turn back to hit the ball like this. So she's changing direction really, really fast in a lot of different positions in all three planes. And sometimes her hands are in different positions, sometimes her feet are in different positions. But what I'm going to do in this move is just get her changing direction quickly in all three planes of motion. It wouldn't make sense to test, because she's looking to get faster, just to test a 40-yard dash, because a 40-yard dash is just a forward position. It's not a bad test, but not the best choice for here. I want to see how quick and explosive she can move, changing direction a lot of different times in a short amount of time, because that's what she's going to be experiencing in a tennis volley. When she's moving here, I'm going to make it almost a little bit more aggressive than what a game would be. So you'll see her jump forward to side to transverse, even backward jumps too. Now I'm going to get to see how well she moves. This exercise, I could time it, I could measure distance, I could do a variety of different things to test how well she completes this. I could drive her hands in different directions. I could make her go 2 feet to 1 foot, and I could make her go 1 foot to 1 foot. On this, I just simply chose jumps. I did not feel 1 foot to 1 foot was appropriate yet. Probably a little bit too aggressive of a test. If she did better on the previous ones, I could absolutely go ahead and test the 2 feet to 1 foot or 1 foot to 1 foot 36 to 360 jump. So let's go ahead and continue to see how well she does moving through. Let's see if I can time it where I want here. So what you see, and you'll see as the video continues to play through, as she jumps and it's best viewed in this sideways position here, her knees are really, really driving in, which again, we know that those knees can go in those positions. We want them to. We want them to be strong in those positions, but we should be able to actually see her control the knees a little bit better on that move. And instead, we see a lack of control. And both actually are diving in. If we look at the tape closer and we break it down a little bit closer, we would see that the left is driving in more, which again means lacks efficiency, takes more energy to go ahead and come out of that move now. But it also, all of a sudden, it lowers her potential for power and lowers her potential for speed, agility, and quickness. That knee simply cannot, and core, hip, foot simply cannot accelerate or decelerate as fast as possibly the other side. Both sides are definitely related, they're connected, so they all do have an impact on each other. But right now the left definitely is one that we would say, okay, we can help her left foot to help her left knee become less vulnerable, and then when she goes into speed, agility, quickness exercises, she can perform them with a higher intensity and faster and more explosive numbers. For the next piece, we're going to be going into our conclusion. And hopefully you've learned a lot so far, and I look forward to continuing it. See you in part 7.